Hey guys, I have an old school empties video for you today, and I am going to actually break it down into a makeup video, a skincare video, and a hair care video, because if I did it all together in one, it would be really long. Let's dive into them. I hope you don't care, but I think I'm gonna do even same clothes in each video. Oh, is that a big problem for you? I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. If I keep that in here, I probably did that. First, the basket full of makeup empties. I kind of have them separated in an order for like mascaras, skin stuff, finishing sprays, setting sprays, stuff like that. But it's in no particular order of like favoritism. So let's start with setting spray. This is my favorite one. If you ever manage to find one of these at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx and it's on clearance with the little red sticker, snatch it up, make sure it sprays first because they will not let you return this stuff and you are spending your money. I'm not talking about spray your whole face in the store. I'm just talking about a little in the store. There's still some left in that. This stuff is so nice. This is the continuous setting mist from Morphe. It comes in a couple of different versions. This was, I think it was like a seasonal thing one year where they did this coconut bliss scent. And I don't think they sold very well in store because I'm always seeing these in resale stores like Marshall's, TJ Maxx. So this is a really good one. I will use this as a final mist over almost any setting spray that I have. Just, yes, I'm talking about using 2 setting sprays because the mist is so nice and just sets everything and melts everything all together so beautifully. It goes on well. There's never any splotchiness. It is a winner, 100%. Will always continue to buy these. Another favorite setting mist, the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut. This is so nice, especially in the winter when your skin is so dry. No matter what kind of finish of foundation you're going over it with, this is just like a beautiful, glowy setting spray that I'll always have. This one also in my collection. I probably have, who has 1 or 2 setting sprays and that's it? That's not me. I think I have 7 in play right now. This is a good one. Super affordable, the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut. Makes my makeup last. Feels great going on. Usually a nice spray until the end, it can get a little splotchy. This is another really great affordable drugstore one. If you can't really see what this is the Catrice Wonder Woman. How cute was this set when they came out with it? I loved this setting spray. It has a really nice, there's not enough left to really show you. This had a great mist going on, really worked to keep my makeup on fresh, and it reminded me a lot of the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut where it helped it to last all day and really nicely melted everything together. Loved this one. Don't think you can find it anymore unless you're looking on like eBay or Mercari or something like that. The Catrice Glow Setting Spray in general, no matter what version of it you get, very good. And then a high-end one. This is the Anastasia Dewy Set. I picked this up like for a travel size one a few years ago. It took me a while to go through it, but I was really being sparing with it. This is this product's bougie big sister. I would say these two work very similarly, and this one, the finish that it gives on the face is just a little bit more higher level. I really enjoy it. The performance of it is nice. The sprayer was nice, and it did help my makeup last to the end of the day. And I especially like doing these dewy type setting sprays when I'm doing like a powder foundation and need something to really kind of take that powdery edge off. This is the one. This one was kind of unique and interesting because you can use this. It's the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Priming Glow Mist. It's for 8 hours of hydration. You can also use this as a setting spray, and I use this more often as that. It's really nice going on. The sprayer was pretty decent. I enjoyed it. I don't feel like I have the need to go out and purchase this one again, but I did want to try it, especially because of the dual use of it. Think of it as replacing your primer, which is what I'll talk about next. The NYX Marshmallow Primer. I went through a whole one of these. I might even have gone through 2. This is a really good, just general overall primer. I think this is going to work on any type of skin that you have. It's not glowy, but it's not mattifying. It's like that perfect sort of in between and helps kind of bring things to the same playing field on your skin before you apply foundation. This is a good one. I would buy this again. And then this is the MAC Fix Plus. We hear about this one a lot. Unpopular opinion, it doesn't knock my socks off. It's good, but the sprayer is not always like it's squirted out in a stream. I'm not sure if you could see that. There's a nice mist, but in the middle of all that was a stream. So the sprayer is sometimes an issue with this. I don't think it did anything above and beyond what you can get at the drugstore level. It's nice, but I do not feel the need to repurchase it again. Okay, so now moving on to some face products. I've got 2 of the Maybelline Superstay powder foundations. This is the old packaging. You can see, I think this even has a clearance sticker on it. This is a favorite for me of powder foundations. Talked about powder foundations in a recent video. I can can link that somewhere above at some point in time here so that you can see what I'm talking about when comparing a bunch of them together, both high-end and drugstore. This is a classic. Really enjoy it. You can see how much it breaks up though. It is delicate, so you have to be careful with it. But I'm done with these. I still have probably 4 or 5 more in a drawer of different shades that I go through. And as I move this around, it's going all over my desk, so. This is a L'Oreal foundation that I could not get into. I tried. I really wanted to. This is their Age Perfect 4-in-1 Tinted Balm. I think this is supposed to be a version of the Bobbi Brown cream foundation. I just, man, it's greasy when you put your finger in there. When I went to apply it, it just didn't spread well, and I just had a hard time making it work for me. I really wanted to. This one is a no for me. I can't even finish it. I'm done. Up next, I've got Maybelline's Dream BB Fresh Skin Hydrating Beauty Balm. It is an 8-in-1 skin protector, and it's got SPF 30 in it. It was okay. I have so many different foundation products. It's really got to stand out for me as something that does a nice job in order for me to continue to use it, and obviously then to repurchase it. I wasn't a super huge fan of the texture. Like, it's kind of thick. You can see this is a darker one. I obviously had this in the summer months. I don't know. It's not even like I feel granular stuff in here when I go to spread it and smooth it off the top of my hand. So it's a huge no, actually. If I want something that's lighter coverage, I'll just take a regular foundation that I have that I know I like and add a little moisturizer to it. And it's like BB cream level coverage, like that. I know the color works. I understand that the staying power and whatever the shout outs are about the foundation itself that it's going to do, I understand that's going to be affected by adding moisturizer. I get that. But if I just want a little lighter coverage that day, that is more of a go-to for me than this is ever going to be. So this one is a no, not going to repurchase. On to a good thing here. One of my favorite concealers. This is, you can see I like used it so much I had to tape the top up because the black was wearing off. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. Mine was in the shade 350. This was a great concealer for under eye, and then if you have some acne that pops up occasionally, I found this to be a really good powerhouse worker for me. Smooth finish, gentle coverage. It's what I'm looking for. I like this one. I've already repurchased. This one is great. This is the NYX Professional Wonder Stick. It's a 2-sided stick that I use for contouring, of which I only use the one side. So unfortunately, I screwed this one up and screwed up the top into the cover. But I would take this and go around and just do my regular contour spots, jawline, etc., and use a brush to kind of blend it in my skin, and it is fantastic. The other side of it is a highlighter. This one is just the plain white. There's different versions of this. This is the highlight and contour stick. Some of them have actually like a sparkly type highlight. This one's more of just a plain white, and I didn't hardly use that at all. You may want to do something like nose contouring down the center of the bridge of your nose with that sort of shade. That would be great for that. It's just not something I do, but it is a good product, and I do totally justify buying it even though I use one side of it because of how much I like the cream bronzer on the one end. Something that didn't work for me, this is the NYX Sweet Cheeks, and it's a soft cheek tint blush mousse. I've said before that cream blushes, liquid blushes, my skin just sort of absorbs it, and I have found 1 or 2 that kind of work a little bit better over the years. I found that if I'm going to use something like that, I usually have to go over it with a powder blush to kind of set it in a little bit more, make it pop a little bit more. But this one, man, I could not get, what shade is this? Nude Tude. I like the name. It looks like it'd be really pretty. I just couldn't get it to blend out nicely or really show up on my skin, and it ended up being a fail for me. So that is not a repurchase. Another fail for me that I will not repurchase. This is the NYX Total Control Pro Hue Shifter. This is the kind of fluid that you would add to a foundation that is too light for your skin tone. So maybe you've got a tan over the summer, you're self-tanning, and your regular foundation that you're using at the time is too light. You could add a drop or 2 of this to it, blend it together on the back of your hand, and you've got an instantly darker shade. I could not make this work. I couldn't find a formula where it seemed to blend nicely, and maybe I just couldn't get the shade match right for my skin tone. If I need to darken a foundation, I'm going to darken it with a darker shade of foundation. Little drop added to what I've already got, blend that together, boom. much better results than adding something like this for me. If you can make it work for you, that's fantastic, but this is not a repurchase for me. Now getting into some lip stuff. This is the Almay Color and Care lip oil in the stick. Mine was in the shade Dulce Delish 100. This I thought was pretty, but it just doesn't give me much at all. Like, it's super, super sheer. You can see like I'm swatching it and going over it and over it, and you just don't really see a whole lot. That's not what I want from a lip product like this. I want something that's going to give me a nice little pink tint. So it's okay. The smell isn't offensive. I think it's rather unscented, so therefore you're not going to have much of a taste, but it just didn't do much for me. It's kind of bulky to keep in my pocket, and I have better things that I'll talk about next. This one is not going to be a repurchase. Something along the same lines that I like much, much better is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. These things, oh my gosh, I love them so much. I literally dig out when the product gets low. Like, I can't pump up anymore, but I can get in there with my brush or my fingernail, and that's kind of gross. So we're done with this one for now. I have probably 4 or 5 shades of this. Can't even get it out to swatch it for you. These are really nice, super comfortable. Do they plump your lips? I don't really think so. I think they just make them look full and juicy and moisturized, which can sort of translate to a plumper looking lip, but I don't like lip plumping products. I don't like the tingling or the burning sensations. So if it did have much of the ability to do that, I probably wouldn't like that. This is a really great one if you're just looking for a nice, little bit more high-end, but tinted lip balm that's going to really deliver and just execute some great shades. This is the one for you, Tarte Maracuja. I had bought a whole bunch of these different Summer Fridays lip balms. This is the small ones. They came in like a gift pack of, I think, 5 different shades. I did a video on them comparing them to e.l.f. that came out with one that was supposed to be kind of similar to it. That one I can link as well somewhere along here if you're interested in seeing that video. I love these so much. Small, perfect size to keep in your pocket or your purse. This is easily the lip balm product that I grab for all the time. Even if I'm going out of the house with no other makeup on, they do have a nice variety of shades. Some of them are more clear than others. This is the one, and actually I think this one is my favorite shade anyway. I cannot get enough of these. Summer Fridays, please don't ever stop making these. But we're all done. This one's empty. Back to the original Maybelline Vinyl Inks. I loved these as stains. These lasted so well. You really got to shake them up first to use them. This one was my favorite shade. It's Cheeky, number 35. And I think I probably have like 5 or 6 different shades of these right now. They've come out with some new stuff too. I haven't dabbled much into them because there's so many other stains and things that I want to play around with and see what's the newest and greatest. This is a good one. I do recommend these. However, the scent is strong and I'm not a fan, which is the other reason I'm leaning towards trying newer things, because they're not as scented. You don't taste it so much on your lips. But boy, this was a beautiful color. Let's look at it. One last hurrah for Cheeky before it hits the trash. And you can layer this up and really make it either super sheer or let it dry and go on with another coat and really start to make it more of an opaque. Just a beautiful color. But the scent and therefore taste of these on my lips, I just cannot. We're done with that. Along those same lines, this is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss, and I really liked this one. Is Topaz. This is great, but again with that same scent. The whole Lifter line, what are you doing adding that scent? Stop it. Anyway, I still used, I think, probably 2/3 of this before I couldn't stand the scent anymore and I just had to stop. But this makes a great topper for a lipstick that you just want a little bit more moisture on. This is beautiful, and it's beautiful on its own. Just with the scent and stuff, I think I'm done with the Lifter line. Speaking of scents, Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balm. Oh my gosh, this was the Banana Kiss, and this smells so good. It doesn't go on yellow. It's clear, although it looks a little yellow in the way the light's hitting it, maybe a little, but it's not gonna turn your lips yellow. It is so pleasant. I really enjoyed this one. I would buy this again if I could find it on sale. It's Too Faced, so it's a little pricey. I like this a lot. Pillowy, soft, comfortable on your lips. Lasts a good long time, not all day. It's a lip gloss. Very comfortable and worth the price on sale. Full price? No. Okay, so then the last lip product, I finished up one of the Laneige lip sleeping masks. I think this one is Mint. Yes, this is the mint one. These are really nice. I do enjoy them, and I would repurchase them if I can find them on sale. They have a good variety of flavors now. I will say that the Trader Joe's one that I'm always talking about, I'll throw a picture up of it right here, is just as good, and their vanilla scent is incredible, and I would buy that before I would pick up another one of these. They're pricey, but they're nice. They make for a great gift. If you can find like the little multi-pack around the holidays where you can get like three or four different flavors of it, that's a fantastic gift. Okay, save the best for last. Mascaras. When I look at this and think about how I still have another basket full of mascaras that I'm cycling through and probably 4 or 5 that aren't opened yet in the drawer below that, I definitely have a problem. But you know what? It's a collection. It's a makeup collection, and the mascara is my favorite part of my collection. You know what? Just take advantage of the fact that your girl has bought all this different stuff to try, and now you don't have to, and you can get some good recommendations out of it. All right, first, the Essence Lash Princess. This line is so good, but I find, don't come for me, they transfer like me in college not being able to decide what I want to study. Like one minute and they're across my eyelid. Why do you do that? So I have this one, and I think I do have another one in here too. I'll just talk about these together. This is the Lash Princess in black brown, the false lash effect, and this one is the sculpted volume in black. I love both of these so much. They look so great. So if you're not dependent on having to move around, or you're gonna potentially be in a sweaty environment, or it's humid, they're fine. For me, they just freaking transfer, and I wish they wouldn't. I have played around with the one with the green writing on the tube. That seems to do it a little bit less. And I've also used the waterproof one, and that one still does a little bit, but they are great for how they go on, how they make my lashes look. It is a pain in the butt. As a matter of fact, I have a whole set of new ones that I've got as a gift box around the holidays, and I'm going to delve into and do its own dedicated video on the Essence mascara lines, what's worth your money and what these do. Anybody else deal with that with these things? Gotta say, after this, I will not repurchase. Get it together, Essence. This is a good one. Milani highly rated anti-gravity. This mascara wand is the kind that has like the little bump on the end. There's something about that, about being able to get into the corners and get those little tiny lashes at the edge of my lash line, that it's great for that. And I definitely would repurchase this if I'm in need of a new drugstore mascara that's reliable. There's nothing else new that I want to try. And that is, unfortunately, very rarely actually the circumstance. Milani highly rated anti-gravity. Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational. This one is the waterproof because I'd heard good things about this being a solid waterproof mascara. The wand on this one is one of those really stubby little plastic ones, and I feel like I have good luck with those. My lashes are naturally long and they respond well to that little tiny plastic thing, but then also when I'm looking for volume or layering at mascaras, I want that big bushy type wand where I can really get in and go over and add something with some oomph to it over what I've laid down initially. So this is a good one. Waterproof, yeah, I would say so. A bit hard to get off, but that's what waterproof mascaras are. Use a balm, that's the secret. Let it soak on your lashes for a good 15-20 seconds and kind of gently rub it in, and that's how you get waterproof mascara off. Then follow it with a double cleanse and you'll be fine. But this is a good one too. Every year, Aldi grocery store, yes, Aldi, where you should probably not buy the meat, but everything else is pretty worthwhile. They have that wonderful aisle in the middle of the store. They have random stuff, and they've got a makeup line. Did you know that? I think I've talked about this before. It's called Lacura, and this mascara from them is They're Brilliant. This one, they've got a waterproof version and a regular. They're all black, and they've got that great little tip on the wand that lets you get in the corner. This is a really good mascara, and it's usually only like around $5. I get this every year. Don't turn your nose up to Lacura at Aldi. Who doesn't want to only spend $5? And this doesn't transfer the way that Essence does, so I'm just saying. Wet n Wild came out with this So Defined mascara. I feel like this is the kind that, man, it was really good initially. The wand on this one is kind of bent. I guess they figure that you're going to be able to get into the corners on that. It is, though, that little short, stubby plastic bristles on it. I found that it worked really well for like the first month that I had it. I loved it. And then all of a sudden it just kind of tanked. I think it dried up quickly. So it was good. It performed for me, gave me volume and some length. But if you're only going to last me a month, I mean, I think we can do better than that. So I'm not going to repurchase this one. It was a good month while it lasted. This one's a classic. It's the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It's a good one, just a basic drugstore mascara. Wand looks like so. It's got a little bit of a curve to it. And I think this one was in the shade brown. Yep, it looks like it. Very nice. Did a good job. Don't feel like I need to repurchase it. Not my holy grail. This is the CoverGirl Eye Enhancer. They came out with these, I think, a year or two ago. I got mine in this kind of reddish, brownish sort of shade, and it just looked like, again, with the pink eye. Now, the bristles on this are a little bit more fluffy and gonna give you more volumized look. I couldn't get behind this. And it wasn't just the fact that it gave me the look of having pink eye with this shade. That's a shade issue, not the product issue, but it just wasn't something that I reached for. Will not be repurchasing that. Maybelline also makes Total Temptation, and this one is one of my favorite brown mascaras. There's something about this that the wand is kind of like a nice in-between of the short stubby and then the big bushy ones, and it's real good. I love this so much. I've talked about this on my channel before. Maybelline Total Temptation is a solid choice at the store, and I don't think this is one of the more higher priced ones either. I have repurchased this, would repurchase again. CoverGirl came out with this Lash Blast Super Cloud Mascara. It's supposed to be really light. It just didn't do much for my lashes. It was like more of a natural look. I don't speak that language with my eyelashes, so this was a no for me, and I will not repurchase this one. Maybelline came out with these Falsies Surreal a while ago. This is a pretty good one. I just didn't find myself reaching for it a lot. It's got that nice bushy wand and is good for volumizing. I don't know that it necessarily looks like it gave me falsies, but it was a good mascara. Don't feel the need to repurchase it. Maybe if they reformulate someday, but there's just so many good ones out there now that I'm playing with that I don't feel like I need to purchase this one again. It was nice though. Let's throw in a high-end one here. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. This is a good mascara. Fluffy bristles, and I'm sure that's not the right terminology, but they're short. It's fine. I think this came as a free gift in something. The looks of it almost make me think it was like a birthday gift. It's okay. Wouldn't feel the need to repurchase, but the packaging is adorable. I also picked up the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water. This is the mini size. Sorry, it's messy. It's been through it. I take this with me when I travel. It's a good one for waterproof mascara, specifically for the lower lash line. I don't know that I would repurchase. Maybe. It's not bad. It's just there's so many good ones at the drugstore. I don't feel like I need to. This one I really liked. This is the Benefit They're Real. And this mascara, I think this is one of the first ones that came out with that funny tip that I was talking about earlier, where you can really get it nicely into the corners of your lash line and get those little tiny hairs. I like this mascara a lot and will repurchase it if it's like a sale or something like that. The Benefit They're Real, this did a nice job. All the lashes looked great and volumized with it. 2 more drugstore ones and then a high-end, and then we're out. The CoverGirl Exhibitionist Stretch, Strengthen. Stretch and Strength. CoverGirl Exhibitionist Stretch and Strengthen. This was a great mascara. I liked this a lot, and CoverGirl mascaras don't always knock my socks off, but it has this really great wand that got in well, and I enjoy a wand with bristles like this for that second coat mascara. Did you know that you can layer mascaras? You don't have to do 2 or 3 coats of the same kind. If you're not happy with a mascara when you first put it on, and you're like, this was kind of a waste, go over it with something that has more of that kind of, what I keep saying is like a bushy type bristle. Do your second and third coat with that. You're there. You've already bought the product. You can't return it. You might as well try to make use of it somehow. Last one from the drugstore. This is the Maybelline Lash Stiletto. Somebody had recommended this as a good lower lash mascara, and I'll show you why. Because the wand is really skinny and thin and long, and it does do a nice job for that, but it was kind of meh on the upper lashes, and I used it a few times for lower lashes, but I didn't find myself reaching for it. It's long past the time it needs to go. So we're done with that one. And this one I'm kind of disappointed in. This is the last mascara. It's the Gwen Stefani Give line. It's her Can't Stop Staring mascara. You know how sometimes the little minis, the travel sizes, work better than the full size? Have you ever run into that? It's a weird phenomenon, but it's true. And you can see this one also has that little like ball type tip that helps you get right in on the corners. I really enjoyed this. This was a great mascara. I think her whole line is out now though, so I can't find it anymore. But if you do come across this somewhere at like a Marshall's or something, snatch it up. It's a good mascara, especially if you can find the mini. And then the last thing I want to talk about in this is sort of mascara related, but this is a primer. It's the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Base. This did absolutely nothing for me. If you have found a lash primer that actually makes your lashes look fuller or longer before applying your regular mascara, please let us all know down below which one is it. Give us some good recommendations. This is just a typical white lash primer. I have worn this many times. It does nothing for me. I've done the comparison where one eye has it and the other doesn't. The lashes look exactly the same. Instead, I'm just forced with trying to make sure I've covered up all the white. I feel like that makes you get more mascara on your eyes and you're just bulking them up, but it doesn't do what I feel like a lash primer should do. If you're taking that extra step, you're taking that time to apply something like that, don't you want some results? So this is a no-go for me. Hey, so editing me, jumping in here really quick because I realized that I did that whole video. I filmed the whole makeup empties video without remembering to grab a couple more things. I promise it'll be quick. Eyebrow stuff, there's a lot of duplicates in here, and then some eyeliners. Let's talk eyeliners first because that's what's in my hand. I have a couple of favorites that I always go back to. And for some reason, I think I'm always gonna find something newer and greater, and advertising just gets me. But these 3 different eyeliners right here, my preference is the felt tip type. Some people might call it a liquid eyeliner. It's not the liquid where it's on like a brush. I can't hardly control that. But these 3 are the best ones that I found of that. I almost always go for brown. I do have some black, but these empties are all browns, just putting that out there right now. First is the L'Oreal Infallible. This is the super slim. This makes a really nice thin line. I very rarely even do much of like a wing or anything like that, but you could easily do that with this. Another one that's really similar to it is the Maybelline Hyper Easy. This one recently knocked out the next one I'm going to show you as my favorite. I've repurchased this so many times, again with the real nice simple, you can see it's a little bit of a richer brown color. Such a great eyeliner, truly one of my favorites. Already repurchased it. I have a new one in my drawer downstairs. And then the other one that was my former favorite is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. This is what the packaging looks like. Another one of those felt tip style pens and a real nice simple line. I love these so much. They just do a great job of no pulling. It's not skipping across my lash line, and I absolutely think these are just the greatest ones ever and will always repurchase them. I do have one other one that's not so much of an empty, but I'm kind of tired of it, and I don't even know if you can get this in like Ulta or anything anymore, but this is the Too Faced Killer Liner. Mine is in Killer Espresso. And this is more of that wax style. It's okay, but I just am not a huge fan of it because I find that it transfers. And these 3 favorites that I've already mentioned absolutely do not. So these are the liners, and let's talk about brow products. If you don't know, I started this channel based on my frustration with eyebrow products because for a blonde shade, they are all over the place. And I just needed to yell at the world about it. And so many of you have come back and reiterated the same kind of frustration. As a matter of fact, it's my first video I ever made, probably the lowest quality in content and editing, and it's one of the highest viewed ones. So that tells me I'm not the only one. Almost all of these brow products that I'm about to show you are ones that I regularly cycle through, and I want to start with my first and favorite. Yeah, I go through brow products quickly, and I have found over the years that the best thing that works for me is a skinny brow pencil. My favorite, going on record, is the NYX Blade and Shade. That's what all of these are. There's 8 of them here. I probably have 1 or 2 more in my drawer that are in use right now, 2 different shades, and I think I've got a pack of 4 that I picked up on Amazon because I can't always find the right shade in store. My favorite shade in them is Cool Ash Brown. I also sometimes use, this is regular ash brown, so it's a little bit darker, and then there's a lighter blonde one that I like as well. They're all down to the bottom, but you can kind of see it has that blade angle on it, which is nice because if you're wanting to do just fine lines in your brows, the way you hold the pencil really kind of dictates what sort of result you're going to get and can accomplish that sort of individual brow hair effect for you. But then if you also want to just fill in sparser areas, then you just turn it a little bit so that the flat side of it is going along your skin, and it just leaves a beautiful color and finish, and I'm really happy with it. And the nice thing about this is this isn't ridiculously expensive. They all come with the little spoolie on the end so you can brush the product through your brow. I just think they're great. But honestly, when it comes to brow products, NYX really has my heart and soul every single time. This is the Ulta Slim Brow Pencil. I didn't use this one up very much, primarily because I didn't like the application of it, and I think the color was a little light, and you had to work really hard to get the color to show up. So not only is the color the issue, but if I have to really go back and forth and kind of scrape it on my skin, then that makes the skin underneath the brow hairs red, and it just doesn't look right, and I'm not happy with that, and I don't want to have to fight it. So this is not something I'm going to repurchase. If you're more into the traditional brow pencil, this is for you. This is the Maybelline Brow Precise. You can see how far I got down on this one. Not bad, but more for like filling in, shading in areas, and I really am more interested in something that I can get that individual brow hair look. Liked it, but don't need to repurchase it. This is the Revlon Color Stay Brow Pencil. This one is kind of an interesting shape to it. It's like they went for the blade, but then kind of not. I didn't reach for this one very often. I think the issue primarily for me was the color. This is it. It came across a little bit too red. Just not a repurchase for me. CoverGirl came out with a clean, fresh brow, and this one I did not reach for very often because I've been trying to get it to show up here for a swatch for you, and I can't get it to show up, and I believe that is primarily the reason I didn't reach it for it very often, with the issues of it just reddening the skin underneath the brow hairs. I didn't want that, so I wouldn't recommend the CoverGirl Clean Brow. Wet n Wild came out with this Brow Sessive. It's just that old school traditional brow pencil. It's okay, but the color was a little bit off for me. I think this one kind of went on a little bit green in tone. A lot of these brow products that you're seeing me pitch, it's not that the performance itself isn't fine and I can make use of it in some way. It's the color. The shade of blonde, you can see in just the sampling of 4 or 5 I have here, it can be all over the spectrum, and some work for me and some don't. So I came across this brand, Zoeva Remarkable Brow Pencil in Taupe Brown. I am so sad to get rid of these. I found these in TJ Maxx and Marshalls type stores, and once I took it home and tried it and fell in love with it, I couldn't buy them all out fast enough. It's that perfection color, and if you have any of these, send them my way. They are ridiculously expensive, and wherever they were bought out from, where they ended up in all these like Marshalls and TJ Maxx type stores, I think I bought them all. And I'd really like to buy more of them. One of the best thin brow pencils I've ever tried. Zoeva, you have something really good here. Please simmer down with your pricing and put them in regular stores. What makes up a good brow pencil? Something that I can apply to my skin and draw those individual hairs. The tip of it isn't going to break. The shading is perfect. It lasts all day. It spreads nicely through the brow hairs when I go through it with the spoolie. That is damn near flirting with me, and Zoeva, girl. I said it before, NYX is a go-to for me for brow products. This, if you're looking for a brow mascara that's going to provide a little bit of thickness for you, this is really nice. Now, I already have a brow hold product in here, so I can't run these back through here. But this is a thickening brow serum. It's their Thick It Stick It, if I didn't already say. I have repurchased this several times. It's a good one. I will still grab this and use it as like the only brow product if I am just running out the door and I just kind of want to look a little bit more put together. But this isn't going to leave those lines that are like thin brow like hairs. This is something that's just going to kind of thicken and bulk up what you already have. So if you have somewhat decent brows and you just want to add something that's got a little bit of hold and a little bit of color, NYX Thick It Stick It is a good one. Definitely will repurchase that. Already have. It's in my drawer downstairs. Speaking of hold type products for brows, these are the Lacura brow gels. They come out once a year. I've talked about, I think even, I mentioned the Lacura mascara. This is from Aldi. It is that random makeup brand that they have a couple of things from once or twice a year. When they come out with these, it's a dupe for a high-end brand, and it is just as good. It's just a clear brow gel. The cool thing about it is it has 2 different brush sizes on here. So like you've got a regular and then a short, depending on what you're doing with your brows that day or what kind of product you've initially put into your brows might dictate which side you want to use. I've used both of them with a lot of good luck. I really enjoy this. It's super affordable. It's only like $4, I think, when it comes out, and I usually buy 3, 4, 5 of them just to stock up. The Maybelline Super Lock. This is so good. This is a go-to for if I need something to keep my brows in place all day. This is what I'm going to go over it with. It is just another clear brow mascara. If you're not familiar with it, locks them in place. As a matter of fact, I have it in today, and I don't have to think twice about checking my brows all day. This is going to hold them in place. Mine is the clear one. They do have some that have a tint to them. I haven't messed around with those, so I can't speak to that, but I will always go back to this. very good. Too Faced has this Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax. I think this could be a really great product if the packaging was different. Unfortunately, it doesn't scrape a lot of the product off when you pull the brush out. So too much product gets in your brows and it's just a mess, and I don't want to have to do this every time. So this was okay to use for a little bit, but then I got tired of the high maintenance of it and I'm done. Finally, for a while there, I was getting my brows tinted, and the esthetician that was doing that for me recommended the Babe Brow Brow Serum. So I've got 3 of them that I've been through. Actually, I've probably been through 4 or 5 of them. And what this is a clear amplifying serum that you go over clean brows with. You can do it twice a day. You can do it once a day. I would usually do it at night before I go to bed. You can see what the applicator is like. It's just like a little bit of a sponge, and you just trace it over where your brow should be. Like, I may not have brow hairs this far in, but I'm going to trace it over that area, and it actually has this great serum in it that promotes brow growth, and I'm telling you, it works. In my experience, they don't show up very dark, so that's where the brow tinting comes into play, because it's like dyeing your hair, your brow hairs, and all of a sudden you have all this hair here after you've tinted them that you didn't even realize was there. And I just think that is the most fascinating, wonderful thing, and it's a secret trick that I think a lot of people are doing and not talking about. I've started doing it at home. I don't go back to her anymore. It was almost 70, 80 bucks every time I went, and honestly, I can just do it at home with little Just for Men's. If you ever want to see a video on that, I can show you what that looks like. It's super attractive. So yeah, the Babe Beauty Amplifying Brow Serum is good. This is a little expensive. Make sure when you're looking at this online that you're looking at the one that's for the amplifying brow, because this is the company that also makes Babe Lash, and that's super popular. You can find that almost everywhere. This one is a little bit harder to find. Side note, I purchased an Amazon off-brand of this, and I'm working on that tube right now. I'll let you know what I think of that, if it's much different. I don't know that I'm getting the same sort of results that this gave me with the off-brand that I had. I'll let you know when I get through the rest of that tube. So yeah, thanks for your patience with me on this little editing insert here, and back to the end of the video. What do you think about somebody wearing the same shirt to do an empties series? Because they're literally right there. Like, there's my hair bag and there's my skincare bag, and I'm already up here. Thing about empties videos is they're great because they're like a bunch of mini reviews in one, but they kind of went away for a while, and now I'm seeing a bit of a resurgence in them, but instead of it's empties, it's repurchase or not. So they're just rebranding it. Like, they're just people, we're still just showing you our trash. The Snapple fact is that a camel has 3 eyelids. Thanks for sticking around all the way to the end, guys. I'm going to film my next video, maybe, I think. Yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day and enjoyed going through my makeup trash with me. See you guys in the next one. Bye.